This is the all-new Toyota GR Corolla Rally RC2. It's the car that Toyota Gazoo Racing has developed specifically to compete in America's ARA National Championship in 2026. But what exactly is it? And why did they build a car from scratch instead of using their world-beating Rally 2 car? We're at the home of Toyota Gazoo Racing World Rally Team in Jyväskylä, Finland, to speak to Technical Director Tom Fowler to find out everything there is to know about the Toyota GR Corolla Rally RC2.
The Corolla, and in particular the GR model, is particularly popular in the US market. The GR Yaris that we're all familiar with in Europe is quite a small car and something that wouldn't be seen so popular in the USA. So the first investigation into this car was to see how we can bring the Corolla into the US rally market using as much of the technology and the data and the information that we've gathered in Europe to develop this car as quickly and as efficiently as possible for the ARA Championship. In the beginning of the program, we looked through the regulations that were currently being used in the ARA for its top open four-wheel drive class. And the first thing that we noticed is that to go into that class with a Rally 2 based car, the performance level would be too low because these open four-wheel drive cars have been developed to their own set of regulations, which is much more free than we have over in Europe for Rally 2. But interestingly, during the process of understanding all the different regulations that were available in the ARA, they started to also talk about a new set of regulations that would allow Rally 2 cars to compete on a fair footing in the US. It was those set of regulations that we used in order to develop the Corolla for the USA. There are similarities and differences between the Corolla and the Yaris that we use in Europe. All of the drivetrain and powertrain components are identical. We took the engine, gearbox, differential, drive shafts and the full layout of the transmission and essentially transferred it over into a Corolla body shell. Where the difficulties come is that the Corolla is obviously a larger car than the Yaris. For the suspension system and the bodywork, we had to make adjustments for the dimensions of the new car. But the best way to look at it is that all of the running gear and the mechanical parts are identical to a Yaris, but the body shell obviously is a bespoke body shell specifically for Corolla, but using all of the design information from Yaris and either scaled or changed to fit the new size of body. There's pros and cons between the Yaris and the Corolla. One of the disadvantages that comes from this was that there was an increase in the amount of body shell weight. This has been mitigated through the work done by the engineers and the designers to reduce that as much as possible. In terms of advantages, compared to the Yaris, the Corolla is a slightly longer car, so the wheelbase is a bit longer, and also this brings some advantages in faster rallies. And actually, as it turns out, a lot of the rallies in the US tend to be quite high speed roads, a bit less technical compared to European rallies. The change in the size of the body actually lends itself towards the championship in which it's going to be used. First build and the first rollout was all done in the US. It's been, I would say, an advantage to the project in the way that a car that will be used in the United States has been built and tested and rolled out in the United States, and so there's no transition period needed from Europe to America. It was born there and that's where it will be used. To have the development driver, Juho Hänninen, and also our team principal and former driver Jari-Matti Latvala on hand to do the testing is always a great advantage to put these guys into the car straight away because they understand the other cars that we've developed. They know where we're at in terms of the current Rally 1 cars, the current Rally 2 cars. So to get their opinion on the first development cars of any project is a very useful and important process for us. And in the ARA, this was no different. So the engine which is used in the GR Yaris in Europe and in the GR Corolla in the US is the same. The 1.6 litre 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. The transmission that's used is the same SADEV built package that we supply for our Rally 2 car Yaris here in Europe. The gearbox itself is a 5-speed sequential gearbox. The braking package comes directly from the Rally 2 car. Everything was fitting from the Yaris to the Corolla without any issues. Our suspension partner over in Europe has always been Ryger in the Rally 2 car, and that same product is transitioned over to the Corolla. A lot of the development work that was done over in the first tests in the United States have been around tuning the suspension system, because of course the weight and the distribution is quite different from a Yaris to a Corolla. So this is one of the main points. Physically the parts are the same, but different tuning required to get the balance that's needed from this car. There's definitely some freedom around what you could do with the aerodynamics, because being one of the first cars to go into this market, we strongly believe that the spirit of Rally 2 is that you have a production body over the majority of the surfaces, and that you're only making modifications specifically for the installation of the different wheels and the width and length of the car. And so this is what we stuck to. So the majority of the surfaces of the Corolla are from the Corolla road car, and it's only widened and changed in dimension where it's absolutely critical to do so, either for the installation of the suspension system, the cooling package in the front, and of course the addition of the rear wing. But if you look at the rear wing, you can see it's a very close derivative of our Rally 2 product. The main target of the GR Corolla is for use in the US. It has also been showcased in Japan in some car shows. So in terms of marketing, I think it could be used for almost anything, but in terms of rally championships at the moment, it's focused on the ARA. We're all excited to come to the US and see the Corolla in action in the Rally Championship, and I think the sport of rally is gaining popularity over in the US with the announcement of potentially a WRC round coming in the future. There's obviously a lot of interest from teams over in Europe to get an understanding of what rallying in America is all about. Going into this US Championship for the first time, measuring the success is maybe slightly different than other projects that we have had ongoing in the past. Of course, in WRC, our target is to go there and to win in Rally 1, and our target is to provide a Rally 2 car in which someone can win WRC 2. This is absolutely clear from the beginning. But moving into the ARA, I think a little bit different focus in a way that we really want to understand what the future of American rallying is going to look like. And this car is a first step into the water to understand where the championship's going to go in the future. And so I'm sure that there will be development of cars in the future to go there to win. But at the moment, this is the first steps to really understand what will the future of this championship look like.